Here's the thing. Now that it's April 1st, in fact, as we're coming to you live here on this glorious Thursday night, we're kind of reaching the end of snowboarding season. Freddie, I've told you all about my ups and downs of my snowboarding season, and I do mean ups and downs. A lot of getting on the lift and off the lift and on the lift, and sometimes we hit our face, and have concussions that set us out for, out of work for 6 weeks. But it's kind of sad, that the season's coming to an end. But on the other hand, exciting because now I'm going to have my Fridays off each week. Probably just going to be hanging out with my 3-year-old quite often. Try to let my wife get some work done. She's a muralist and an artist, and of course, hard to get work done when you're a stay-at-home mom with a little one. My other kid is going to be in kindergarten, and I'm feeling like we're going to go on a quest. You might call it the quest to be the best there ever was. In fact, I've got, did you ever get the Burger King Pokemon toys back when you were a kid? Back when the movie came out in 98, 99?
I did. Let's see. Those were the ones with the golden cards in it, right? The golden.
Yeah, well, those were like a separate thing you could buy. Those were extra.
I have those.
You have some of the gold cards?
I've
got one. I don't remember if it's Charizard or Pikachu. What was
the
other one? Like Wigglytuff?
Something like that. Yeah, it was one of those you wouldn't expect it to be one of the chosen ones, but it was. I have a Pokemon and a Charizard, and I didn't get the other one. I do know that.
Oh man, I collected most of those from the Burger King kids meals. I almost called them Happy Meals, but that's a different franchise. All right, it's a different restaurant that'll clog your arteries. And I also would purchase, like those little 2-packs at Walmart that had like a Pokeball and a couple of figures. Like I've got one that had, Golduck and Psyduck. And the other day I was taking inventory. I've got this big bucket, big Rubbermaid, it's 25 years old at this point, but it's holding up. Same one. It's covered in the little Pokemon stickers from those Topps packs that I had as a kid. My 2-year-old likes to play with these, and she tucks them in at bed, and they fight against the Power Rangers, just like everybody else's Pokemon do. And I was counting them. I was trying to decide how many of the original 150 that I had, and deciding whether or not I want to try to complete the collection. So tomorrow, my day off. Not going snowboarding. Do I go to my local comic book store, and they sell a whole bunch of Pokemon figurines and stuff? Do I go and try to complete my collection of the original 150?
The answer is yes.
All right. Well, you can Venmo me, Jared_Mays. No, okay. I'm so excited to talk about that and so much more tonight on this episode of Legends Lookback. So without further ado, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to Legends Look Back, the podcast all about the original 151 for people who've got to catch them all. We're talking cards, anime, even the video games. Today, I'm joined by the Brock to my Ash from Pewter City, Freddie C. How's it going, Freddie?
It's going well. See that?
Flashing the bling, man.
I'd have to say, so I've got a couple cards here, and I blame you for sure on all of these purchases that I've made.
Why do people blame me for their purchases?
As the Pokemon connoisseur, you brought me back into the sword and the shield, into the mess.
I like the way you pronounce the W in sword.
Yeah, I'd have to say, man, you convinced me to get back into it, and here I am amongst the Pokemon cards. And as you can see, I've got the Blastoise VMAX here. You see that?
Unopened and everything. Just knock the microphone over, Freddie. Just
who cares about that?
Batch it.
Got a little Elite Trainer box for the Battle Styles, the new one.
Those are hard to get. That's part of the reason I want to go to my local comic book shop. I'm wondering if they've got those, but they don't sell them at like MSRP. They sell them at a markup now because they've become quite collectible.
Yeah, yeah.
If somebody stages a break-in over there in Tucson, it wasn't my fault. I'm sure it was somebody else, definitely.
Yeah, so the whole Pokemon thing. I'm learning who the new ones are, right? There's a plethora.
There's a lot to learn.
There's a lot of new Pokemon, so it's I'd have to admit it's a daunting task, right? It's not like the original 151. You can't just collect them.
Well, there's a lot to collect. A couple years ago, I was going through the video games one by one, trying to catch them all. And I finally did it. And I was like, all right, I did it. And I sold my 3DS. And now I'm like, where'd they go? I need them back. And I'm so glad, Freddie, that we finally gone ahead and, got rid of the Star Wars stuff, went ahead and converted our podcast on over to the Pokemon podcast, something we've, it's been coming for a while, don't you think?
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about this change. Hopefully everybody else is who's with us here in the chat tonight, over here on YouTube. I know that you're getting tired of the Star Wars in your life and you needed to get some more of the Mons. Am I right? Because tonight we are also joined by the Misty of our crew from Cerulean City, Meg Dowell. Meg, what do you think about our conversion from Star Wars to Pokemon?
It's great. I mean, I'm along for the ride, whatever you want to do. So I approve. Do you need my approval? I'm going to say yes.
That's you say. I was expecting this. I literally have this in the notes that I sent Freddie because we did not warn Meg we were doing this tonight. I literally have this. Whenever Meg says these words, what's happening? Then we drop the bit. And so she hasn't said that yet. So we're just going to keep it going. Just like the Naked Palps meme that somehow continued to go. It was episode 8 or 9. Could have been 10. And here we are like 40 something in at this point. And he's still going. All right. He's still unclothed. But we are going to throw him a retirement party. It's coming up soon.
Jared.
Meg, now I know that you're not as big into the Pokemon as we are. In fact, you have in our Slack channel complained, or like at least vaguely, passive aggressively hinted at the fact that you've learned a lot about Pokemon.
I mean,
and yet somehow you're okay with this change.
I mean, I'm not like, I have done Pokemon related things, not for like 15 years, but I do have one question for you though, Jared.
Okay.
What is happening and how do I make it stop?
Okay, well, Freddie and I, we needed to do something a little bit out of the ordinary because, it's the first time I've ever podcasted on April Fool's Day. I had to do something. Now she said it, Freddie. We're going to drop the bit, taking off the hat, see if I don't knock over the headphones, throwing it.
Putting the cards away.
Actually, had already put it away in the basement after last summer. It was a Halloween costume from a couple years ago and had to dig it up yesterday. Got down there with the spider webs in order to find that sucker. And just for the show, just for us, just for our faithful listeners, let us know, what's your favorite Pokemon? What's your favorite Pokemon game? What cards should Freddie go on a vision quest to collect? What action figure should my daughter and I look for tomorrow? And will she let me keep it? In fact, we had a fun little debate tonight as I pulled out our Pokemon plushies in order for this bit here on tonight's show for April Fool's Day. And my 3-year-old and I had to have a long talk about the fact that Charmander needed to appear on the podcast tonight and could not sleep in bed with her, or as she calls him, Charman. This little thing, she makes him sound a whole lot manlier, doesn't she, Charman? I actually think this is my little brother's that I stole. I'm not totally sure. Justin, if you're watching this, is this yours? I have no idea. Tonight, we are not, in fact, going to be talking about Pokemon any more than we already have. Wait for that in the Legends Lookback Discord tomorrow. See what my finds are. Tonight, we are going to be doing something else a little bit wacky on this April Fool's Day of a Star Wars podcast. We are going to be diving deep into the Legends catalog of Choose Your Own Adventure books. And it is going to be wacky and wild and weird. And Freddie's got one. Freddie, you want to tell them a story on how you ended up with this copy of this book?
Yeah, so Jared...
It's a wild ride.
Yeah, wild ride for me. Jared asked me for my address, said, hey, where can I send this? I gave him 2 to choose from. Thankfully, he picked the right one.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm going to be traveling. There's a chance it's going to get here, but it's going to be right up against the wire.
Yeah. So I'm hanging out with my parents, and my mom goes, hey, you got a package. Totally forgot Jared sent me anything. So I'm like, what the heck did I order? I open it up. Nothing. Jared doesn't say any. There's no notes in there. And I just open it up, and it's the Clone Wars Decide Your Destiny. That was the moment I knew Jared got it.
That's right. It's the weird Legends book I've never heard of. That's definitely from Jared.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, here's the thing. I showed this off maybe on last week. Could have been 2 weeks ago's stream. I've got the Clone Wars Tathan Battle Adventure. I've got book 3 in the series, or Wook, the Wikipedia. What a mess of a site that is. They've got this mislabeled on their site as book 2 in the series, when it is, in fact, if you can read the spine, book 3 in the series. So I don't know what they've got going on over there. got a bit of a disaster. But I was like, okay, well, we don't want to read book 3 on our podcast. We want book 1. So I ordered us both same day, same time. Book 1, The Way of the Jedi, Clone Wars Decide Your Destiny. Freddie got his in Arizona that I sent him. I ordered one for myself, not here. Now, what I could have done is I could have ordered Freddie the book that I already had. So we would both have the same book. So now Freddie has book 1. I have book 3. We do not, in fact, have matching copies of the book for tonight's show. So it's going to be even wilder and weirder than I had originally anticipated. Does that about sum it up, Freddie?
It's going to be interesting. We'll see how this goes.
That's right. Well, before we get there, and I'm so excited for us to dive into these suckers. What a weird, wonderful history Legends had with some of these books. And in fact, we're going to talk a little bit about the recent canon dive into choose your own adventure books. And we're even going to play around a little bit with one of those tonight as well, in an interesting format. So before we get there, we've got a little bit of Legends news and our ever popular, increasingly desirable mailbag segment. In fact, I had so many things to show off last week. I had to rein myself in. I'm just gonna save them for this week. Now, Meg, I saw in Slack today that you had a delivery, a package. In fact, you might call it like a Santa sleigh worthy kind of package. You got a lot in the mail today, Meg. You want to show off your haul?
I did. If one of you will talk for 30 seconds, I can absolutely do that.
We've got like a crew of people at Youtini who are big into the Funko Pops, and we're constantly messaging each other a little bit into the Discord, a little bit into the Slack, saying, hey, these Funkos are up for pre-order. Sometimes we blame each other for our purchases. I feel like I get blamed more often than I should. I've got way fewer Funkos than Meg, than Eric, than Emma, more than everybody else, but fewer than them. And yet somehow I get blamed for these purchases. Freddie, do you own any Funkos? I don't think you've got any, do you?
I just have that giant Stormtrooper Funko.
Oh, yeah. It's so big.
Its head is about the size of my head, so that gives you an idea of what it looks like and the size.
Absolutely massive.
The girth of that Stormtrooper.
You got any books to show off this week? Any collectibles? I don't guess it has to be books. Last week you showed off Pokemon cards. You got any Star Wars stuff for our very Star Warsy episode on our Star Wars podcast?
So I just found this in my local bookstore. It's Episode 1, Phantom Menace, the graphic novel.
Oh, wow.
So
show that up again. I want to look at Anakin's face. It's looking a little
check
chubby.
that out.
Got some baby fat on those cheeks.
Oh, yeah. Are you an angel? Yep, that's him.
Beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, I'm excited to read this, actually. The art style is fairly, I would say, standard comic book. I mean, everyone kind of... Anakin has a very interesting looking face in most panels. Smashed in, but I love comics.
I saw Kidster there.
Oh yeah, where's Kidster
Looking
nowadays
great.
Anyway?
Where is Kidster? That's the question.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. I just picked this up, but also I found. Well, I shouldn't say this. My mother found something for me in the tomes as she was searching. So I'm gonna have Meg show her off her Funkos off, or what I think she's got a pretty nice haul.
Box. It's a box of boxes.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if Meg's ready for that yet, but
I am here.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
I grabbed the one that was on the top, and it is Gar Saxon, and he still has a sticker on his box, which is great.
Can we get a live unboxing, Meg?
No, because it's wrapped in things, but look at him. I have to.
Oh, it's in a protective case, isn't it?
Yeah. So I have to stick to my brand here. So Rebels, not Legends. Sorry, but woo.
Okay, hold on. Gar Saxon is he's in Legends first, right?
Yeah.
He's in a couple episodes of. Is he in Clone Wars at all before the Son of Dathomir comic?
I should know these things, and I just don't.
Yeah, Son of Dathomir is an interesting. He's definitely in that, and it's interesting because it's a Dark Horse comic that's canon. Oh, well, Freddie's got a poster. Oh my gosh,
what is happening?
We're just talking, Meg, and I look over, and Freddie's Vanna Whiting this massive Star Wars poster. That's amazing. It's Yoda with the books. That's actually a controversial poster, Freddie. That's from the cover of the Essential Reader's Companion. It's controversial because in Legends at that point, paper books were not a thing, or at least not very. Oh my gosh, it's covered in books on the back. Freddie, how are you going to decide which side to display?
I have no idea.
That's a tough thing. When it comes to reversible posters, you've always got to buy duplicates so you can show off both sides.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
great. My mom comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, do you still want this?" I looked at it. It's like, yeah, I need this.
Where did you get that? So she found it. So you already owned it. It was buried in the Emperor's vault there in Tucson.
Yeah. So there's two places I may have gotten it. One is at Rancho Obi-Wan, and the other one might have been at like Celebration 5 or something like that.
Oh, at Rancho Obi-Wan, nice. Did you steal it from Steve's collection?
Plead the fifth.
Actually, that's probably not something to joke about. I know that's actually happened. They had an employee who stole things.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. There's a lawsuit. I've got a lawyer. All right, it's not my fault. So does Freddie. I will say this much. Do you know about the controversy surrounding that artwork, Freddie?
No, I never heard of it. What is it?
About how in Legends, like for the most part, books are all on data pads, right?
Oh, that's right.
My iPad here, right? They're on data pads, and so the fact that like Yoda had a paper book is controversial. Now, obviously, in canon, we got the sacred Jedi texts, and so it's like become a little bit more of a commonplace, event to have an actual paper book. But in Legends, it was like, fan outrage. Can you believe Legends fans were outraged over something? Well,
what a concept.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you what I'm not outraged about is that poster. It's glorious and beautiful, and I can't wait to see it when it's up in your Star Wars room at home. You gonna try to drive back home with that thing? You gotta be careful. You got a poster tube?
I do. I have quite a few poster tubes. So yeah, I'm gonna fly it back, or I'm gonna drive it back because after looking at it and seeing all the Legends books on there and getting really nostalgic, it was pretty awesome. That was the time when Legends was not Legends. So
that's right. Was it canon? Well, that's debatable. But does it have Trusa Bakura on the back?
It does. It does, in fact.
That's good. That's important. Yeah. I've got a couple to show off. These are, in fact, I'm ashamed to say, canon books. All right, I do. I've read pretty much all the canon books. I think Meg and I are pretty neck and neck on the team for who's read the most canon books. It actually has to get into kind of the nitty gritty. Not adult novels in order for us to sort out who's read the most. But I finally picked up, I'm just like 3 or 4 hardcovers away from having all the canon hardcovers. I got Rise of Skywalker back in, January when this was released, but I didn't own the other 2 in hardback until last week. I found incredible deals on The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. Force Awakens, pretty cheap and easy to get in hardcover. Last Jedi, though, very expensive, very hard to find. I got an exceptional deal on it. It's in, I'd say like 85 to 90% good condition. So it's like, about as good enough, right? It's not bad condition, but it's not perfect condition. That's exactly the kind of deal that I go for on Star Wars books. You got to find those that are like passable, but not perfect. That's where you get your deals. Am I right?
It's a nice looking book.
Yeah, it's a great cover. I mean, say what you will about The Last Jedi, but the red and white is just such a glorious color scheme they've got going on here. Pretty cool. It's also nice to have the complete trilogy, the sequel trilogies. Now, I've got the hardcover Barnes & Noble edition. It's just out of reach of the original trilogy novelizations. I've got the Books A Million prequel trilogy, all 3 novelizations in one bound volume. As far as I know, there is not in existence a sequel trilogy collection of all 3 novelizations in one bound volume. Do you guys know of one that I somehow missed my radar? Do you think we'll ever get one?
That's a good question.
I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you guys ever find out about it? I know it's not Legends, but you guys shoot me a message in the Discord if you ever find out about it. And I'd love to be able to stick it up on my shelves in the collection right alongside these others. It kind of drives me nuts that I've got them in bound form for the prequels and the originals, but not for the sequels. It's the kind of thing that keeps me up at night. That's the kind of collector that I am. Well, what an incredible amount of stuff for us to show off on the show tonight. I'm sure we'll have some more wacky things to show off next week, maybe even some Pokemon figures. We'll see. We also, in addition to our mailbag segment, have a little bit more Legends news. this week. This is pretty exciting. Freddie, did you see this news break earlier this week about the Republic Commando game?
I did, and I have my browser open on the page with a timer that says 14 days, 12 hours, 1 minute, and 56 seconds.
Yeah, Meg's got it up on the screen for us right now, and that is that through limited run games, which some of you are more familiar with than me. Thank you to Jacob, aka the Spice Den, in our chat for pointing this out to us, that he's gotten some of the collectible Legends video game deluxe versions in the past from limited run. I didn't know these existed. That's why we need our internet friends to point out the needless things that we absolutely have to have in order to spend our hard-earned money on. And I gotta say, I'm so excited for this. The collectible deluxe edition kit. Now, I haven't made my mind up. I've got both a Switch and a PS4. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get yet. There's a good chance it'll be both, but we'll see. It's got like a collectible pin. There's a poster. There's a steel book. I'm trying to remember what else is included there. It's just an incredible amount of Republic Commando gear, and especially if you collect these limited run deluxe editions of some of these other games. I know they made one for Jedi Outcast and one of the old classic Star Wars games as well. This definitely be something to pick up. It goes on sale on April 16th. And I, for one, am definitely be picking this up. There's something special about the fact that this ties into the Republic Commando book series, right? I mean, Meg, you came on 2 episodes for what, 4 books? 2 episodes, 4 books in like 2 weeks? It was a lot of reading, wasn't it?
It was, but yeah, we talked about those. So I've probably read those books more than any other Legends books at this point.
There you go.
So
yeah, it's one of the most divisive Legends books. Oh man, I got absolutely eviscerated for saying something nice about those books on Reddit one time. It's just like all I said was, "Hey, I like those books. I recommend them," and people were like, "Heretic." It's like, I'm sorry. They're good. Have you heard of Mird, the hermaphroditic flying dog? I mean, it's awesome. It's so cool.
So
They're
cool.
great.
It's so awesome.
So, Meg, have you ever played the game? You ever played Republic Commando? We should do like a Legends Lookback stream where I don't know. I'm not much of a gamer, but I'll definitely buy it.
Yeah, I feel like I remember maybe playing it once or twice. But I think Corey also was playing it a while ago on game night for
cool.
a couple hours, I think. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Awesome. Doing them drugs.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited to pick this up. We'll see what we can make happen there with the video gaming and the plugging in of the systems and the switches and the PS4s. And I did get a little bit of a notice, though, from Jacob that sometimes buying these from limited run, it can be a little bit of a wait on actually getting them delivered to you. You will get them delivered. He said maybe on one of the Jedi Outcast games that he had purchased from them, it took 6 or 7 months. So This is like definitely worth the wait if you're into the collectability of it all. If you like absolutely have to play the game immediately, you might want to buy the digital version. But hey, we are nothing if not completionists here at Legends Lookback, so let's just buy all the versions. Am I right? Now, a little bit more housekeeping before we move on to the meat of the show, and that is we had a giveaway. Freddie, tell us about the giveaway.
Yeah, so we had a giveaway made up of 3 books and 1 Legends Lookback sticker. And those 3 books were, let's see, we've got True Set Bakura, right? And I always forget them, but we've got Heir to the Empire. And then I believe the last one was X-Wing, Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, so not necessarily the same recommended books that we've got, in our foundational 5 at Youtini, though we did discuss those on that episode, an evergreen episode, one to send to your friends who might be considering getting into Legends books. But these were our recommendations, 3 perfectly good places to start. And so the winner on that was Master 1177. Master, you are running out of time. You gotta go on over to Twitter and claim your books. If not, we're moving on, and somebody else is going to get them, and they're going to love them, and then they're going to display them in their collection. You're going to have to visit and look at the books on their shelves and ask to borrow them, and then you're going to have to sign a contract that says you promise to return them, unlike my neighbor Eddie, who still has my Vector Prime. One of these days I'm going to get it back. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, excited to introduce some more people to Legends. What about you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for whoever ends up receiving those books to actually read them and let us know.
Yeah, that's right.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, don't just pawn these off on the internet because of the fame of the fact that you got these from Legends Lookback, signed by Freddie C himself.
Yeah.
Um, these are to be read and then passed on to somebody else. Absolutely. It's a good point, Freddie. Now, tonight on the show, these are not necessarily the books, I've got to say, in comparison to Rogue Squadron and Heir to the Empire, Truce of Bakura, maybe not the same books that I would recommend for a Legends noob. However, a really odd, interesting, weird place in Legends history. We're going to be talking about some Legends Choose Your Own Adventure books. Modeling for you tonight, I've got the Return of the Jedi Choose Your Own Adventure. I've also got this is like the holographic one too, which is kind of cool. You got Luke and Vader dueling. Found this one at my local thrift store. I had to actually book an appointment to even get to go into the bookstore. And then my wife and I divided our 15-minute appointment between the two of us. And I ran out to the van in the rain, handed her my wallet and said, I've got 6 books at the counter. Go in. Now's your chance. Anyway, came out of this one with 1 minute to spare in our 15-minute appointment. And then also, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Clone Wars Decide Your Destiny series. And Freddie, of course, got one over there as well. Freddie, have you ever read Choose Your Own Adventure book of any style, Star Wars or otherwise?
I remember playing a couple of MS-DOS Choose Your Own Adventure games. But I never really read a book, so these are the first ones that I would have ever read, to be honest. So it should be pretty interesting.
Meg, how about you? You ever done the Choose Your Own Adventure thing?
I have not. That I can
Never
remember.
read a Choose Your Own Adventure book?
I mean,
Exciting.
I may have. I've read a lot of books. Okay, I don't know. I may just not remember.
Maybe we'll get a fan to scour your Goodreads and see if there's one in there.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
not sure that I would chronicle a Choose Your Own Adventure in Goodreads. Maybe I have. I probably have with the Star Wars ones I've read. Because, of course, the idea here is you get some agency in the book. You get to the end of a page. You get to decide, does my character go this way or that way? And sometimes your character just straight up bites it. You get bitten by a big, deadly crab. And it's over. It's just like your story has ended. Go back and make better choices, bro. And it's kind of a taste of humility, a little bit of a dose of, hey, you made a bad choice. Life is full of choices. This was not the right one. Let's start over. It can be a little bit maddening, can't it, to have to start over at page 1 if you've spent 2 or 3 hours in one of these and you don't remember where you made the choice that sent you off on the wrong path. Isn't that how it goes, Freddie?
That's usually how it goes. You put all your investment into this character. You're making some good decisions. You're taking a pathway. Before you know it, you're getting impaled by a random giant wasp or something.
That's right. That's right. What kind of books have we been reading with crabs and wasps biting us and impaling us? I want to say shout out to Jacob in the chat who says, in true Legends Lookback 90s fashion, I can't even say this. In true Legends Lookback 90s fashion, I read the Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure books growing
that's so
up,
cool.
which is insanely epic. In junior high, middle school, 4th or 5th grade, I actually had read like all the books in my reading level in our elementary school library. It was in Oklahoma in the early 2000s. We were like 2nd worst educationally in the entire U.S. So that's not saying much, the fact that I had read all the books in my reading level in the library. So I would actually get on a school bus and go over to like the junior high, one level up, to borrow books from their library in order to complete my AR goals. And I'm getting sweats just thinking about those AR goals. Whew, man, so stressful. Just see those yellow screens in my sleep. Anyway, I remember finding, in addition to like those higher level books, I was supposed to be reading the classics like Robinson Crusoe and The Adventures of James Cook, the explorer who discovered New Zealand or whatever. I remember also finding a Spider-Man Choose Your Own Adventure book and sneaking it out of the library because I was only there for like academic purposes. But I was like, I'm going to get this book. I'm going to read it if it's the last thing I do. I remember finding these splash pages of Mysterio trapping me in his fun house. And then it was like I had killed Spider-Man right there in the library. And it was such an exciting experience. Now, in Star Wars books, I'm going to give you a little bit of trivia here, Freddie. What person point of view are the vast majority of Star Wars books written in?
Usually it's in third person, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's in third person. Now, there are a few Star Wars books that are controversial and notable, infamous, you might even say, for being written in a different point of view. Do you know what those books are? Meg, I
Let's see.
especially want to hear your perspective on this.
One of Corey's favorites, I, Jedi.
There's
I
one.
believe.
That's right. It's written in first person,
Oh God.
in case that wasn't evident by the title. I, Jedi. Meg, do you know what the other most notable? There are some others, a little lesser known books. The other very notable, I can already hear you groaning over there. First person Star Wars book is? I'll give you a hint. It's canon, but it was almost Legends.
Are you really gonna make me say it?
I'm going to make you say it. It's going to happen.
Your
I'll wait right
favorite.
here. I've got nowhere else to be.
Heir to the
I'll give you a
Jedi.
hint. It's got noodles. That's right. Heir to the Jedi.
Mhm. I'm not happy about this.
Why? I mean,
You
It's a
know
great
why.
well, here's the thing. There are a few Star Wars books, very few, written in first person. Now, there are some that are written in third person, but a different kind of third person that are controversial for their own way. That is, in particular, like the Aftermath books. Those were controversial for having a different writing style. Instead of being written in third person past, these things happened in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, after all. With Windig and the Aftermath series, there was a sense of urgency, and these books were written in third person present, right? So Wedge jigs his ship to the left, and he swerves to the right, and then he crashes into the planet's surface. It's in present tense. Well, the Choose Your Own Adventure books are neither in third person past, third person present, or in I, Jedi, Heir to the Jedi, first person style. They are. Do you guys know what point of view are Choose Your Own Adventure books written in? This is not in the show notes. This is me just being nerdy. Silence. You got this. I'll give you a hint. All you have to do is open a page to the book, Freddie, and you'll figure it out.
Let's see here. You ready?
I am.
As you and Jalen approach the diminutive Jedi. Okay. I mean, these are definitely
Yeah.
like a first person-ish.
They're second person. That's
Second
the crazy
person.
thing. They
That's so
are
crazy.
like the only books in existence in any genre, for the most part. Sweeping declaration, the only books ever written in second person, where you are the main character. Not he, not she, not they. It didn't happen in the past. It's not happening in the present. These are just, you are making the decisions right here, right now. I guess that's happening in the present. I just messed up point of view and what's the other thing called? Tense. Meg is always editing my writing, and I can't figure out tense for the life of me. Can I, Meg?
Well, it's hard with Star Wars because we don't need to get too deep into this conversation, but Star Wars, the story is in the past because it's a long time ago, but you're talking about the character in the it's a whole. We've had so many debates about this, about how to do this.
Yeah, that's right. I have given up on trying to figure it out. I just write the rough draft and let Meg sort it out in post.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's going great. She loves it. It's wonderful.
Everything.
By the way, Meg's got like 10,000 words of writing of mine to edit over the next few days. It's going to be great. Well, tonight we're going to be actually playing along with some of these books live. We're going to give a little bit more trivia about them first, though. Now, if you are wanting to dive into the dearth of Legends Choose Your Own Adventure books, Freddie, where would you start?
Well, I mean, number one right here, the one you sent me. I've never read any of these before. Start at page
You're
one.
going to start with the one that I sent you. That's smart. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, this is where I'm gonna head. This is my adventure right here.
Excellent.
Yeah, and of course I'm trying to figure out how exactly this goes, and I was laughing so hard at the way to pick the next page. Right.
We're going to dive into that in just a second. Yeah, so this is the most notable Legends Choose Your Own Adventure series, I will say. The Clone Wars Decide Your Destiny series. Of course, these have, let's see, what do we have? 5 books here. You've got Way of the Jedi, Tathan Battle Adventure, The Lost Legion, Crisis on Coruscant, and Dooku's Secret Army. These were published in 2009 and 2010. 3 were published in July of 2009. 2 were published in January 2010. The crazy thing is almost every single one of these has a different author. It's insane. I can't think of any other Star Wars series that has 4 different authors across 5 books. The authors are Jake Forbes, Sue Beirent, Tracy West, and Jonathan Green. 4 authors, 5 books. Man, I'd like to think that there was a 5th author, but then they accidentally made the wrong decision and got impaled by a giant wasp or something like that, right? This comes from the publisher of Star Wars books that I've never even heard of, which is crazy with all the Legends books that I've read. This comes from the publisher Grosset and Dunlap, which almost sounds like a couple of Cantina characters, doesn't it?
It does. I'm looking at it now. Grosset and Dunlap.
Let's play a game. Is this a publishing company or Cantina aliens? Coming up at 5. We've also got a crazy bit of Legends history with these, and that is each and every one of these books had its own share of interactive content that's now defunct and expired and lost to the interwebs forever. If it's out there on the darknet somewhere, somebody please send me a link. But like warn me, like please, like, you know, check it out first, do the clicking and tell me whether or not I need to use a VPN to access these things. In fact, on the very first page of this book, before you even get into, you know, the very first decision that you've got to make, it says, go to starwars.com/decide your destiny. Click begin to launch the book selection screen. I opened this up the other day, went there, and starwars.com was like, nah, you don't need that. It never existed. You can go about your business. You need to go home and rethink your life. Not even Wikipedia has backup links on these. They're gone forever. But you know what we do have, Freddie? We've got a trailer. Can you think of any Star Wars books that have ever had a trailer? I mean, I think you can count them on one hand, right? I mean, Mark Hamill did like the infamous commercial for the New Jedi Order. But yeah, this series has a trailer. Meg, let's roll the tape. We'll see if they can hear this. Let's hope so. We're about to find out in the comments.
I can hear it, by the way.
Freddie, after this, I'm going to just keep going through. I want you to mention the original trilogy books, and then I'll mention Rebel Dawn. So, back up to the tab. I think there's adaptations of the original trilogy, adventure format. There's one other.
Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl.
Oh. They can hear us too.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. Yeah, nothing happened here. Move along. Oh my gosh. Freddie, what was your favorite part of that trailer? I think mine was when Ventress was totally just like a still image, but like they move her a little bit from here to here, and then she blocks the lightsaber, blocks the blaster bolt with the lightsaber here to here to here.
It's hilarious. Yeah, that reminds me of something I would have played in like high school or something, like during computer class of some sort that I should have been doing, some kind of programming. I don't know. And instead, I was playing Star Wars.
It almost looks like, those computer games from like 1999 that you'd have to load up on dial-up internet. Like I would turn on the computer and log in, and then like go make myself a snack, and then I'd come back to my computer, and then I would like go to the website, and then I'd go walk the dog, and then I'd come back and I'd start loading the game. And I remember having like a Bionicle video game on Lego.com that I spent must have been 2 years playing, and it was very much like that same art style. It was amazing. So now the Clone Wars Decide Your Destiny books. Hey, we don't have access to the online content other than that glorious trailer that you definitely didn't hear us talking over. But what we do have, of course, are the books themselves, and so we are going to be spending a few minutes actually playing along with these. Now, if you are with us here live in the chat, you get the interactability of actually helping us decide on our choices. So when we get to a page turning flip decision. Help me with this. When you get to a part where we actually have to choose to go to on this page, for example, if you give into Ventress, turn to page 149. If you fight, turn to page 43. If you run, turn to page 121. Well, hey, everybody there in the chat, you can put in your numbers, and we're going to take a vote. And we are going to go with the winner, of course, and you are going to help us collectively make our decisions. Does our character live or die? It is up to you. And if it's your fault, then next week you can help us throw a funeral, much like the funeral that we had for Corin Horn last week in the X-Wing episode that then he ruined. He ruined his own funeral. It was amazing, as only Corin Horn can do. Now, before we do, Freddie, there's just a few other Legends Choose Your Own Adventure books. You want to tell them about them?
Yeah. So I didn't know this actually, but it seems that the original trilogy they had some, what was it? They had some Choose Your Own Adventure books for the original trilogy.
Yeah. I've got this one here, like I mentioned, for Return of the Jedi. I'll just give you a little sample. We're not going to play along with this, but here's a good example of things going wrong for Luke in well, I'm not exactly sure who the main character is on this page. This is page 40 from the Return of the Jedi Choose Your Own Adventure from Christopher Golden, who is in fact a different person than the Star Wars author Christy Golden. I Googled it, not the same person, in fact. Okay, so here we go. Here's where things happened a little bit differently in Return of the Jedi. You run at the beast, swinging your lightsaber and cutting into its backside. The huge creature abandons Lando and turns to you. You hold your lightsaber up, ready to hold off the Rancor's attack by cutting at its huge paws as it attacks. But the thing reaches out and grabs you, lifting you from the ground. The lightsaber falls from your grasp. The Rancor starts to crush your chest in its huge fist. There is nothing you can do. Wow, what a great page I found here. Quickly, you run out of air. Everything begins to go black. You know that your friends don't stand a chance without you, but you can't hold on for long. A moment later, you fall unconscious as the Rancor crushes you in its grip. Soon, you all become dinner for the Rancor. Only Chewbacca is still alive, a captive in Jabba's dungeon. When Luke arrives, he rescues Chewbacca, but he is too late to save the rest of you.
Wow.
That's it.
That's
What
the
a
end of the
great page I
episode.
turned to. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect of all the pages. Man, Malakili must have had a great day in that version of the story. Imagine what a party Malakili is throwing. You know, the Rancor Keeper, the big, like shirtless? Isn't he shirtless?
Yeah, he's shirtless.
Yeah. Everybody's shirtless in Jabba's palace for the most part. Oh my gosh, Jacob here in the chat has found the website on the Wayback Machine. It just requires Flash, which I'm pretty sure I don't have on any of my devices anymore. So excellent. I'm going to have to play around with that after the show. You're welcome to try and play around with that during the show, everybody. Just be careful not to accidentally, download some kind of a virus onto your computer, because Flash, am I right? What's wrong with Flash in the first place? Everything I ever did on Flash. Homestar Runner.
Oh yeah, Homestar Runner. There was the Stick Fighters, right? The stick fighting game.
Razorback baseball games in 1999. Yeah, absolutely. What was wrong with Flash Player? I have no idea. Well, let's dive into it, Freddie. I'm going to let you go first. I want you to just go ahead and open up to the start of your book. You're going to do a little bit of the reading for us. We're going to help do some voting. If we feel like the book is terrible, we'll abandon it. We'll switch to mine. If we feel like it's not moving fast enough or it's bogging down, we're just going to flip to a random page in the middle of it. And we'll go back and forth a little bit. We'll play around. We'll see if we can have some fun with this. Freddie, you ready to get us started?
Yeah, so the first part is it's about like 4 pages. I don't know if you want me to skip.
Yeah, put us right before the decision.
I'm just gonna, okay. So here we go. You ready, guys?
Yeah.
Yoda is waiting for you when you step through the archway into the lush Jedi meditation gardens.
Come closer, initiates. Speak with you, I would.
Well, we got Yoda on this podcast.
As you and Jalen approach the diminutive Jedi Master, you feel his ancient eyes staring at you. It's almost as if he's trying to peer into your heart. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Here goes my voice, guys.
Without a Padawan, Master Bat Aaron remains, but an excellent mentor she will be.
Yoda says.
One of you, her Padawan, I will make.
That's the last I'm going to do of Yoda, by the way.
That's not bad, Freddie. That's really not bad. I mean, I don't say that lightly. I've got another podcast, and my co-host is always trying to do Yoda impressions, and I'm like, no, Kevin, no more Yodas. Yours is passable though. I'll give you that.
Okay, cool. All right. You and Jalen look at each other nervously. So Yoda does plan on promoting, but only one of you? Yoda closes his eyes tightly, but somehow you feel his gaze more strongly than ever.
Very close. Your two hearts are hard to choose. It is.
He opens his eyes and sighs.
A final test
Oh, that
you
was
must
epic.
take. See if your mind is one with the Force. Concentrate. Concentrate.
All right,
So
so
much
this-
better than I could have anticipated. We've already in this episode got eaten by Rancor and serenaded by Freddy's Yoda. I mean, what else could you ask for?
All right, so here we go with the choosing of the adventure. You ready?
All right.
Think of a number between 1 and 10. Now double it, then add 20. Next, divide by 2. Finally, subtract the number you first thought of. What is left?
I hope you're joking.
That is exactly what it says.
No.
You can't see it all, but it is very long.
Oh my gosh.
So, guys, I already put this in an Excel, so just pick a number between 1 through 10.
You pick a random number?
Pick a
That's
random
crazy.
number between 1 and 10, and
Okay.
of course, do all the math.
Okay,
Let's see, we've got people in the chat.
yeah, people, go ahead and throw your number up in the chat. I'll go with 3 personally. We got 2 10s.
2 10s from Eric.
We got wait, Eric, you can't vote twice. What do you think? All right, we got 1 10, 2 5s. Oh my gosh, that's 7 from Skooma. All right, we got 2 5s. All right, let's go to page 5. We'll go with the 2 5. Oh nope, now we got 2 7s. Hold on, we need a tiebreaker between 5 and 7. Who's it going to be? Meg, have you voted yet? 5 or 7?
7.
7. All right, page 7, Freddie.
All right. Well, okay, I'll pick
Freddie
the number
tried
7.
Eric tried to sway
Try
the
to
vote.
He tried to Palpatine us.
I am the Senate.
Okay, so 7 times 2 divided, whatever. Okay, I did the math. We're going to page 12, everyone.
That's
All right.
crazy.
This is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I'm at page 12. Huh. Well, just right there at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shall we?
Yeah.
You think back on your Jedi training and remember something Master Windu once said. A wise Jedi knows when victory can be won alone and when it requires the might of an army. This is clearly a case of the latter. If only you can find a way to contact the council back at Coruscant. That's it! You can hack into the facility's communication systems to send a low-frequency transmission back to your ship, then have R3GO relay it to the Republic. You rip the casing off the first comm panel you find and manually adjust the wiring, all the while hoping that your friend, the janitor, wasn't recovered through enough for his mental manipulation to call for help. 30 seconds later, you hear the comforting beeps of your astromech droid. Argo, I need you to send this transmission on the Republic frequencies, he chirps back in the affirmative. Allies of the Republic, you say into the transmitter. I am a member of the Jedi Order, held prisoner by the Separatist forces on the Trandoshan moon of Akoshius. There's like 5 S's.
Oh my gosh. Yes, of course there are.
Let's just go. By the time the Jedi Council sends a rescue party, Bit Paneth and everyone involved with the research are gone, and the computer
Wait, what's
database.
his name?
Bit Paneth. BITTPANITH. Bit Paneth.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You never did find out what his top secret project was. While you live to see another day, you can't help but wonder what Dr. Paneth will cause for the Jedi in the future. Perhaps you'll be there to fight him again. Only time will tell. So, not entirely sure how that
That's it.
happened and how that worked,
Yeah.
but that was that.
So that's where the end is, huh?
Yep, that was the end.
Wow.
We missed quite a bit
Wow.
there. I'm not sure where exactly it started and where it ended, and
Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Kind of enjoyed it though. It's got some good world building.
Yeah.
Building. You got Bit Paneth, and you got Jalen. That's kind of a good Jedi name.
yeah,
Like, maybe
yeah.
not the worst Jedi name I've ever heard.
So
This
that was that.
particular book that I've got, there's a character named Peter, Peder. It's kind of an interesting like Star Wars problem, isn't it? It's like you've got to have some names that are really exotic. like Mithranuodo, right? You've got to have some like really alien sounding names. Bib Fortuna, right? But then you've got to have some other names that are like kind of run of the mill or even like biblical. Luke, you know? You got Luke. There's no Johns, I don't think. Is there a John? There's no John. Like a pilot named John?
If anything,
Something.
it would be spelt like Jahn or something.
Yeah, right. You got Jason and Jaina, which are like the most 80s names ever. Yeah, I guess Cheryl makes a good point. Kevin, there's a character named Kevin in one of the High Republic books. I pronounced it Kevin Tar. Anyway, yeah, Kevin. You just like, hey Kevin, come fix the computers. It's like totally not a Star Wars name, which is amazing. And meanwhile, over in the chat, the Spice Den is emulating Flash so that he can run this program.
Oh, no.
He has also, I'm hoping he's joking. He says, I pull a Trev and record all of this and burn it to a floppy drive. Oh, no, he's saying, yeah, that's how you would put it in your collection. That's amazing. All right, you guys want me to take a turn with my book?
Do it.
All right, I'm going to go to the beginning and we'll vote a little bit, and then if we get bogged down, I'll go to a random page because I found a really fun choice here that says if you help Ventress defeat the Rancor, and I feel like we got to get to that page sooner or later. All right, so I just love the beginning. This first page is amazing. All right, listen to this writing, everybody. This is the kind of stuff you're only going to find on Legends Lookback. Here we go. Now, don't expect the same kind of amazing acting skills that you just got from Freddy. All right, let's set the bar like a little lower and then go even lower than that, okay? Because Freddie, that was amazing. Let's everybody get a virtual round of applause for Freddie C over there, and because that was absolutely out of this world. So here we go. This book begins on page 4 because you've got to have a couple of pages before that explaining how to log into your Flash player over there through the Wayback Machine, right? So here we go. It's a bright, sunny day, and you and your best friend Peter are running through the tangled jungles of Teth, pretending General Grievous is chasing you. He's behind you, Peter, you yell, laughing as Peter executes a couple of inexpert rolls along the ground to shake his pursuer. I've managed to lose him, he calls back over his shoulder, but he's wielding his 4 lightsabers inches from your skull and is ready to slice through it. You let out a playful shriek as the imaginary Grievous lops your head from your shoulders and you collapse, screaming in pretend agony. As you lie there, getting your breath back and looking up into the sky, you think you see a flash of silver. You rub your eyes and look again. You did see something. It looks like a ship. Peter, you call, jumping to your feet. Peter, did you see that? 70 feet away, Peter is staring up at the sky. I always mess up staring and standing. Anybody else with me on that? All right.
Yes.
Peter is staring up at the sky. Yes, he saw it. Did that look like... But before you can finish your sentence, a small fleet of gunships flies directly overhead. Republic ships, says Peter excitedly, and they look like they're heading toward the Mesa and the Bomar Monk Monastery. Kaboom! A huge explosion rips through the air, and you and Peter hit the ground, even though you're well out of range of danger. Let's go have a look, says Peter, getting to his feet and dusting dirt and leaves from his tunic. This isn't a pretend battle, it's the real thing. They're firing laser cannons. The gunships must have landed at the base of the cliff. Come on, we have to go and see. Of course, you want to go and watch the Jedi battle the Separatists? For who else could they be fighting? But you could both be killed. Is that a risk you're willing to take? There must be a safer way to see what's going on without running into the thick of the battle, you say thoughtfully. Well, if you're not interested, says Peter, giving you a withering look, I'll go alone. And with that, he's off, sprinting through the trees in the direction of the towering mesa. So here's our choices, everybody. Buckle up. If you follow Peter into the thick of the action, turn to page 47. If you take a safer route, turn to page 72. So 47, 72. Now, here's a classic thing you can do with the Choose Your Own Adventure books. You can kind of see which choice looks like it's going to lead to a more interesting option. So I'm going to do some flipping around, give you my best informed kind of the cheat of a guess. If you don't want my guess when I'm actually doing some flipping through, you can go ahead and put your number in the chat, either 47 or 72. 47 is running into the thick of it. 72 is the safer option. 47, 72. What are you guys going to guess, Meg, Freddie?
I'm gonna go with the thick of the action.
So 47 for Freddie, Meg.
72.
The safer route. Predictable. All right. They both look like they're leading to interesting places. We got a 47 and a 72 tied here. Now we've got 72. That puts that as the lead so far. We'll give it another few seconds here to figure out. Okay, we're solving this in real time. I got to say, hey, this is even more fun than I anticipated. Thanks, everybody, for doing this with us live. Really enjoying it. Okay. 72 is the winner. Here we go. You're watching Peter disappear into the heart of the jungle when, without warning, you hear the sound of trees crashing and a heavy thunk coming from behind you. This can't be good, you murmur to yourself. You realize you're caught between a battle and an unknown assailant. Abruptly, a huge form of an ATTE walker looms above the tree line about 300 feet away from where you're standing, and it's coming straight for you. Hiding in a bush nearby, you watch the ATTE approach. The ground jolts with every step, and from your hiding place, you soon spot the clone troopers advancing behind their imposing forward guard. It looks like the Separatists have started something, and the Republic means to finish it. You think to yourself, and I intend to help them. The first thing you need to do is make contact with the clone troopers and offer your assistance. But will they take it, or will they treat you like a stupid youngling? Perhaps you're better off doing things your own way. Another choice, everybody. Here we go. If you help the clone troopers, turn to page 124. If you do things your own way, turn to page 134. All right. Help the clone troopers, 124. Do things your own way, 134. Now, I had followed these choices a little earlier in the pre-show. I believe 134 leads us to a lengthy section of reading. 124 is going to lead us. Okay, this is where it gets confusing. The problem with doing the books this way is if you get to a dead end, you don't know how to turn back unless you leave your finger in it. But I just got these, and I don't want to mess them up by leaving them open too much. Okay, put your guesses in the chat, 124 or 134. Which way are we going to go? Cheryl says 134, do things your own way. We've got 30 if you know judo. Well, I think, isn't that what you know, Freddie? You know judo?
That is, I guess I have to say 30 now. So
Jujitsu?
I do know judo, so I guess 30. I have to go with Wes on this one.
What's the difference between judo and jujitsu?
Jujitsu is I would say the you could almost call it like the parent of judo. It's an older martial art that
it's the Legends to the Canon.
Yeah, it's like the Legends to the Canon, exactly. There you go.
Been looking at whether or not we're going to send our daughter to martial arts, and I was like, we'll just go to California and let her train with Freddie. At some point. Give her like a long Padawan braid. Okay, letting the answers roll in here. We got 134 across the board. Here we go. You'll do things your own way or not at all. You know from experience that your elders just tend to just pat you on the head in a patronizing way and ignore whatever you say. This book needs to go to therapy or something. Goodness. The ATTE is only about 70 feet from you now and closing, and the clone troopers are so close you can clearly hear their comlinks cracking and popping with orders. The writing style in this is not terrible. I've read worse. Honestly, what's crazy is I was talking to a friend the other day, a bit of a tangent. I'll get back to the book. I've got a buddy who's read exactly 2 Star Wars books. You want to take a guess what they are, Freddie?
I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint. They're classic.
Yeah.
They're classic, but they're not necessarily good.
Oh, gosh.
He's read exactly 2 Star Wars books, and one of them is Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
I was just going to say that. So first of all, someone in the chat, Nia Lewis, thinks Splinter of the Mind's Eye sounds a lot like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and I had to disagree with it.
She also thinks your hair looks nice, Freddie. Okay, here we go. Back into this. You need to decide what you're going to do now before they stumble upon you by accident. Crack! That's all caps. CRA-ACK! I was hoping that the new comics podcast would actually go with a name like that, like one of these onomatopoeias. Can you imagine our comics show being called Crack, a Star Wars comics podcast? I mean, that would be amazing. For some reason, they didn't go with my idea. I don't know why. All right. Suddenly, your decision is made for you. The ATTE, while forging its way through the jungle, has broken off a huge branch from the tree that hangs over the bushes where you're hiding, and it comes tumbling down. You hear the fearful sound and look up just in time, flinging yourself out of your hiding place just as the branch crashes to the ground, flattering the bush. flattening the bush under its weight. Different word. Now you're lying on your back, frozen with fear, blah, blah, blah. Look out, you hear a clone trooper yell warning. It's enough to snap you out of your trance, and you roll out of the way as its foot pounds into the ground, only inches from where you're lying. Skipping over to the next page, because this is quite a lengthy section here. On your feet, you hear a trooper bark. And opening your eyes, you see that you're surrounded by clones. They're drawn blasters pointing right at you. You sit up slowly, giving the troopers plenty of time to see you're unarmed and look around, weighing your options. Behind you, the ATTE you've just avoided being flattened by is moving inexorably forward through the jungle, but you can hear more on their way and can just make out the top of one coming toward you. It should be here any minute. On your feet, I said, repeats the trooper, and this time the rest of the clones that have you surrounded lower their weapons and fall back, allowing you to clamber to your feet. I'm a Tathan youngling, you say in a small, pathetic voice, wishing you could fake some tears to add to your act. I'm unarmed. The approaching ATTE lurches into the clearing, and the clone troopers shuffle out of the oncoming path, and that's the moment you've been waiting for. You fling yourself onto the foot of the metallic beast, and holding on tightly, it carries you high up into the air and away from the clones. Now, here's the crazy thing. Sometimes in these books, you get to the bottom of a page and it says go to another random page in the book. It's not a choice. The story's continuing. Now, Freddie, why in the world do you think we're about to turn from page 134 to page 16? Like, how do you think they put these things together? They just like take out all the pages and like, put them on the ground like one of those maps that you have to like trace a murder, like solve an investigation with like the string and the push pins.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
Put these things together.
I have no idea. I feel like there's a lot of unnecessary going back and forth. So earlier I did my math wrong. I apologize, everyone. It turns out that the math that I did, no matter what number you pick, it's always going to say the number 10 for some reason.
Oh, that's funny.
So I actually went back, but it goes back from number 10 to number 56 to whatever. And then before you know it, you're just reading the same, okay, turn to page 42, turn to page 92. And it's just continuing. There's no choices. Turn to page 92.
A lot of times these books will start that way. The first 30 pages will be pretty straight narrative a lot of times.
Yeah. So where does
and so it's more toward the end of the book where you've got to make a decision. I think we're kind of at the point, Freddie, where I think it would be good for us to try to find a random page in this and get ourselves killed. What do you think?
Oh, let's try.
All right. I'm going to try to find that choice that had Ventress and the Rancor. That sounded pretty cool, don't you think?
It did.
All right, see if we can find it. Helping Ventress on this page. Everybody, this has been a little bit of a different show, so thanks for hanging out with us. It's kind of an interesting, goofy, wacky April Fool's Day. It's been a ton of fun. We have really enjoyed it. Let's do this one final. Let's get ourselves good and dead. And we're going to move on to the next part of the show. We're going to actually play with an audio original Choose Your Own Adventure from our buddy Kevin Scott. Coming up next. All right, here we go. You shove a crate toward Ventress, sidestep out of her way, and run toward the door. But it won't budge. Stupid Tathan, laughs Ventress maniacally. Meg, do you have like a Ventress voice you could do for us? You do a Ventress impression?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to try. Did you really think I'd leave you in escape route? Suddenly, the Rancor gives a roar and, using its fangs, rips the gate off his hinges. Ow, I just threw my neck out with that gesture I did. Live on the air. Oh, my God. Oh, did you guys see that?
I did.
I was impersonating the Rancor and totally put a crick in my neck. All right, here we go. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're good. How are you? Rancor gives a roar and, using its fangs, calmly rips the gate off its hinges and steps into the corridor. And did you know that was going to happen? You yell, picking up a crate, hurling it at the Rancor, who swats it out of the way as if it were an insect. Ventress, brandishing her lightsaber, jumps fearlessly toward the Rancor, which gnashes its teeth, slobber flecking her face. But the Rancor's arms are so long she can't get close enough to it to land a blow. While you hurl metal chests at the monster, Ventress dives around the chamber, trying to surprise it, but the Rancor dodges her every attack while making sure to stand between you and the exit. Man, the writing in this is fantastic. There is only one way to defeat the Rancor, Ventress shouts at you. You distract the beast, and I will attack it from behind. Yes, you will. All right, so if you help Ventress defeat the Rancor, turn to page 130. If you make a run for the gate, turn to page 68. So which one is it? Do we help defeat the Rancor, or do we, what was it? 130 or 68? Help Ventress or run for it? So here's your time to vote, everybody, here in the chat. We've got surely some people still hanging with us in this very unusual episode in which we have now had a duel with Destiny in the Rancor. Oh, we got a super chat from Wes.
No.
$5. Here's the thing, Wes. None of the three of us get to pocket that $5 directly. So the super chat means absolutely nothing to us, other than the fact that it's this nice shade of green, so it's like pleasant to look at. Meg,
And
you
the
want
fact
to
that-
give the people what they want. Give
Yep.
the people what they want. Give the people what they want.
I'll make you a
Here's-
deal. I'll
Here's-
make you a
here's the
deal.
line. Okay.
If you want it that bad, the next time we're live, I'll give it to you.
Okay, next time we're live. Is that acceptable, Wes? You're the one that's
Oh
paid
my
for the
God.
super chat.
want to do it.
We got to give Meg time to practice her Ventress voice. It's only going to work, Meg, if you shave your head. All right. 130 or... Looks like 130 is the winner. Here we go. We're going to help defeat the Rancor 130. Flipping over here. Whew, man, I'm going to need an extra glass of water after all this. We're still not dead, everybody. We're still going strong. I'm going to go ahead and skip a little farther down. Otherwise, the show is going to take forever. You hear Ventress deactivate her lightsaber and jump off the still shuddering body of the Rancor. Okay, apparently the Rancor is dead, by the way. And the next moment, she's pulling you out of its grasp and across the dirt floor. You showed great courage, youngling, she says, with something like respect. But your injuries are grave. I don't know how much longer you will last. All right, now we're talking. Let's die. Come on. I'm dying, you ask in a small voice. Oops, let me try that again. I'm dying, you ask in a small voice. The Rancor's claws have pierced your body, says Ventress quietly. There's nothing I can do to save you. Only my master, Count Dooku, can help you now. Bum, bum, bum. Count Dooku, you say, your voice trailing off. He can harness the powers of the dark side and may be able to save your life, she says. The choice is yours, youngling. Oh, man, this stuff's getting good, isn't it?
Ooh,
It's really
that was
getting
awesome.
good. All right. If you join the dark side in order to save your own life. All right. I'm so glad we've got a if you join the dark side choice here. That's like a classic example of like what a good Star Wars choose your own adventure can do. If you turn to the dark side in order to save your loved ones from dying, that's excellent. Turn to page 188 for the dark side, or if you would rather die than join the dark side, turn to page 127. I feel like this is really going to put our audience to the test, don't you think, Freddie? We're really going to see what they're made of here.
Yeah, I think I know a majority of our Youtini fans are definitely going to go with the dark side.
Cheryl says she would rather die in Ventress's arms. So we got one vote for page 127. I'm kind of interested in the dark side option, I've got to admit. 188. It also feels like it's very near the back of the book, and I would kind of like to wrap it up. So that's going to be my vote. What's your vote, Freddie? Dark side or death?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Dark side or death on your casual Thursday night?
Wes is voting for the dark side.
All right, I voted dark side, so it's 2-1 so far. Let's do it. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Here we go. I'll join the dark side, you whisper, hardly believing what you're saying. And looking up into Ventress's face, you don't see the exultant expression you would have expected from a ruthless dark acolyte, but you see the pitying look of a creature that knows what the decision may cost you.
Wow,
The end.
that was so good.
Epic ending, isn't it?
Wow.
So here's the thing. It's not the canonical ending. Like there's got to be a way, of course, to explore to get to like the right version of the story. And that's what's interesting with all of these. We're going to dip our toe for like 5 minutes here into canon. There are a number of canon recent choose your own adventure books from none other than the legend, the myth, the British Captain Scott himself. He, of course, has written Choose Your Own Destiny, Choose Your Destiny, a Han and Chewie adventure. And I've read all of these. They're great. They're very good. In fact, if you get the print versions, They've got full color illustrations throughout, which is super dope. They've got a Han and Chewie adventure. I believe that was a solo tie-in, so it's like Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo that came out in 2018 and 2019. These 4 books did. So you've got a Luke and Leia adventure. There's an Obi-Wan and Anakin adventure. I think that was my favorite of the 4. And then a Finn and Poe adventure. So we're kind of covering all of the different eras here, aren't we, Freddie?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I had no idea that they had those until you brought it up to me. So I'm curious to see how they go.
Now, here's what's really fun. Not only has he written these 4 print choose your own adventure books, he has actually written, I think these are some of the rarest, the least known, the most under the radar canon books in existence, which is why we're going to cover them on this show, because yeah, we do Legends, but we also do, random, obscure, crazy stuff. And that's exactly what this is. Cavan Scott himself has written, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Alexa skill adventures. These are exclusively for Amazon Alexa enabled devices. There are 3 of them that are free, and then there's a bigger pack of the rest of the stories you have to pay, I think, $10 for. You have to go onto Amazon. It's a little bit tricky to enable the skill in the first place. But then once you've got it, I mean, these are like full audio adaptations. It really is. I just want everybody to hear for a minute here the tremendous quality, not just of the writing itself, but of the voice acting. And here's the crazy thing with each and every one of these stories, whether we're talking about the print, the 4 stories I just mentioned there, or these Alexa stories, these are canon if you choose the right option. That is, right? These are canon if you make the right choices. That's kind of wild. Have you read any of these, Meg? I know you're pretty well caught up on canon books. Do I have you beat with these? I'm thinking I do.
Yeah, I haven't read them yet.
All right. Well, here we go. You're gonna get to read part of one right now. Let's do it. So this is a little bit of an experiment, everybody. I'm actually going to mute my audio as I summon this device because the smart devices in your houses, I don't want to go off. I'm going to summon it and I'm going to turn my audio back on, and we're going to listen to a part of whatever random story my daughter and I were in the middle of last time that we died and had to stop because I got infuriated and couldn't figure out what was the right choice. So what these actually do well, what's even better than the print versions of the books, is if you make a wrong choice, it says, would you like to go back and choose pick up where you left off? And you're actually going to see that my impression is not all that terrible. Well, maybe it is. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Play Star Wars Choose Your Destiny.
Welcome to Star Wars Choose Your Destiny. This adventure is based on a book series designed for kids 8 and up.
You guys hear it okay?
This Star Wars adventure will
I'm
be
holding my
full of
Kindle
choices.
right up into the microphone.
Each choice could lead to triumph or to disaster.
I don't know where the speaker is on this thing.
You were last listening
Yeah,
to
right here looks good.
a smuggler mission. Would you like to hear what happens next?
Absolutely, I would.
Didn't quite get that. You were last listening to a smuggler mission. Would you like to hear what happens next?
Yes.
Let's pick up where you left off. You grab the sonic pulsar, but jump back as thick gas spreads from its case.
Gross.
The pulsar was booby-trapped.
Booby-trapped.
But your head spins as you breathe in the fumes. Everything goes black, and you crash to the floor.
Oh, well,
You eventually
starting
wake
off with
to find
death.
yourself tied to a chair.
Nope, tied to a chair like Corin Horn.
Still blurred as you struggle to focus on a figure standing in front of you. Is that Cage? No, it's Crew, the leader of the Black Hole Gang. Cage must have handed you over while you were unconscious. If only you'd stuck to the plan. The end. Can you go back and make better decisions? This isn't an easy job, but you knew that when you signed on. Go back and rethink your choices. You have 2 options. Would you like to A, go back to your last crucial choice, or B,
Okay, everybody.
start over from the
What should we do?
beginning?
A.
Let's jump back.
All right, we're not going to do this all night, but let's see out this one last decision. All right, let's see if you can guys help me make a better decision.
You're gonna steal them?
There's no way Cage will sell you anything. Not after the business with the water purifiers. But she won't be able to stop you helping yourself.
I don't like this. Not one bit.
I mean, listen to that
Your
acting.
mind is
We've got like
made up.
multiple actors here.
That's
That
great.
night,
You got, like,
all
sound
Cyclone
effects?
crews aboard the steel wing. You use a scramble key to open the door to Cage's
My kids and I do
technical
these at dinner all the time.
room. Slip inside before anyone notices.
We die a lot.
You creep into the darkened store, running the light along shelves piled high with equipment and weaponry. There's everything from magnifol shields to squib rifles. But you
What?
find a box of
Squid rifles?
bafflers next to a pair of grab boots.
Yeah, sounds right.
You're just about to grab the bafflers
Oh, that's right.
when you spot a sonic
I
pulsar
remember
in the
this now.
skybox. You've always wanted one of those.
Yep. I took him and died. Yep.
Take the sonic pulsar or just stick to the electro bafflers. A. Take the sonic pulsar.
What do we think, guys?
B.
Take the
A or
sonic
B?
pulsar again.
I think I've tried both of these and have died either way. So let's try one of them. Fortunately, it's listening to me right now. We'll see if it can understand the fact that I'm on a podcast. I'm probably the first person to ever podcast while doing one of these stories.
Let's do B.
B.
You tell yourself to stick to the plan, and slipping 3 bafflers into your jacket pocket, you hurry back out. You're just locking the door when 3 Imperial stormtroopers come around the corner.
3 Imperial
What are you doing?
Stormtroopers.
Get back from there. What do? A. Run. B. Try to talk your way out of it. Or C. Blast them.
What do we
Blast
think?
them.
A, B, or C, everybody?
Blast them.
Pretty says blast them. C.
Didn't quite get that.
Yeah, of course. 'Cause I was podcasting.
A. Run. B. Try to talk your way out of it. Or C. Blast them.
Blast them.
You draw your
Yeah, it understood me. All right.
He falls back, but you're seriously outnumbered. You dive into the store, coming face to face with Cage.
I knew it was you, you dirty little thief.
Dirty
A
little
battle is
thief.
raging out in the street. Shushing Cage, you peek outside, your mouth dropping open as you see Psychon wrestling one of the troopers to the ground.
Hogger's face.
She must have come back to make sure you didn't end up in trouble. What do? A. Leave Psychon.
All right, let's see if we can die.
There's nothing you can do. B. Ask Cage to help you rescue Psychon.
A. Let's yeah. Come on. Kill me.
Didn't quite get that. Your choices are A. Leave Psychon.
Kill me, Kevin.
Nothing you can do. B. Ask
I need
Cage
a
to
cheat
help you
sheet.
rescue Psychon.
A. What's fun is I actually know somebody
There's
on
nothing
Reddit
you can do.
who custom printed these so they can have them on their shelves. They transcribed every word.
Turn back to
That's
Cage,
insane.
offering the
Yeah.
merchant every credit you own if she'll let you go.
Really? You'll give up your friend just like that?
Shaking her head, she snatches the cred chips from
I'm
your
a
hand.
rat like that.
There's another way out back. Hurry.
She leads you through the store, saying she never wants to see you again as she lets you out into a dingy side alley. Like you're ever coming back. You run to the docking bays, only to find crew and a band of black hole enforcers waiting for you beside
Black
the droid's
hole
gate
enforcers. What are
machines.
those?
It's time to pay your debts.
All right, that's
What
about
do you
enough.
do? A. Give them the game machines. B. Try to fight your way out.
B. Surely they're gonna blast us to death, right? Here we go.
You try to take on the black hole gang, but don't stand a chance, especially without Psychon at your side. You're forced back behind the Steel Wings landing rig, hiding behind the hydraulic strut as blaster shots ricochet off the hull. Throwing your own weapon aside, you shout your surrender. Crew smirks. With no credits to your name, you're going to have to work for her until you've paid off your debt.
Great, slavery, awesome.
Don't worry. It'll only take, I don't know, 20 years or so. Welcome to the Black Hole Gang.
The end. Can you go back and make better decisions? Good smugglers always have a few surprises up their sleeves. Would you
That's
like
so
to
cool.
try your luck again? You have 2 options. Would you like to
All right, yeah, there it is. It's over. All right, so we're gonna have to send a clip of this to Kevin that we did part of this on the show. Hopefully, we don't get some kind of takedown notice. We only did like a very small portion of it, snippet. Hey, we gotta let people know about these things. They're so much fun. Seriously, I can think of like a handful of Star Wars stories I've ever had as much fun with as I've had with doing these with my kids. It's normally at dinner, so it's like around bites of pasta with food in our mouths, and it's typically whoever doesn't have food in their mouth is the one that gets to make the decision, which is a lot of fun.
Right.
We've had these for a few months and we haven't made it through all of them because honestly, we've done a lot of dying. Well, guys, it's been a ton of fun. Freddie, you think we should do something like this again, or is it a
I think
one-time
so.
thing?
I mean, one of these days we can do maybe a Youtini game nights where we actually read a pretty good amount of it, or play Star Wars Galaxies, either one.
I know nothing about RPGs or Star Wars Galaxies, so the sky's the limit on these. Well, guys, I've seen some fun comments in the chat. Everybody seems to have had a fun time. It's been a little different, but I've quite enjoyed it. Now, there's one other Legends Choose Your Own Adventure book that has come up one other time on the show, Freddie. You remember when we had Trevor on for the episode about the Death Star, like the Legends history of the Death Star plans?
Yes, I remember that.
Definitely one of our better rated episodes. People really enjoyed that. Well, he dug up as Trevor does, and only Trevor can do, he dug up a random classic old crusty forgotten about Legends book called Rebel Dawn. It was a choose your own adventure only ever published in the UK about a Jedi named Kian Farlander, who is one of the people who stole the Death Star plans in Legends. And so that was the one I really wanted to read on this episode. Would you believe it, Freddie, that a choose your own adventure that was only ever published in the UK is actually super hard to get your hands on from a collectability standpoint?
That's wild. You would never think.
If anybody's able to find that, I would love it. And if you send it to me, we'll do it here on the show. Doesn't matter what day of the week, we'll start streaming. I'll emergency call Meg. We'll start the stream right then, right there. If it shows up at my doorstep, we will do the thing. Now, a little bit of news. Next week, there will be no live show on Thursday, April 8th. No live show, but we're doing something we've never done before, and that is we are going to be doing a live YouTube premiere debut right here on YouTube at our normal time. So at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you go to YouTube like you normally would for a live show, there will be a Legends Look Back video show, and we will, at least most of us, hopefully, probably, no guarantees, definitely are going to be here in the chat talking about the episode with you live while it's happening. The episode is going to be recorded this weekend due to time zones, and we're going to have our buddy Trevor from across the pond coming on the episode for an episode, honestly, that we've hyped quite a bit. Freddie, tell them what we're talking about this Saturday.
The Lost Stories of Legends. That's the main theme, right? And we've got Legends books that have never been published before, that have never seen the light of day, that somehow Jared has in his hands.
Yeah, I custom printed this copy of The Heart of the Jedi. We're going to be talking about the in-between short story novella in between Dark Empire 1 and 2 called Lightsider, that we may or may not have been able to get our hands on. Totally above board and not illicitly at all. And it's a big secret. Can't tell you where we got it, but we've got it. And we're going to talk about it. And we're going to be talking about, I would like to consider this, Freddie, the first ever roundtable on Star Wars books that were never published, that never saw the light of day. We're making history here on Legends Look Back. It's going to be great. I'll give you a little tease, okay? I was doing some reading tonight for this book, and I kid you not. And if you want more details on this, you're going to have to come back next Thursday night. In the passage I was reading in Heart of the Jedi, we're going to talk about this Saturday, debuting this Thursday. That is, R2-D2 gives Luke Skywalker a bath. I kid you not. It happens. He scratches.
A little higher, R2.
Yeah, that's right. He scratches his bath in the bathtub. It's amazing. I can't wait to talk about this. It's going to be great. Woo! That does it for this week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on Legends Look Back. Thanks to our incredible patrons who, of course, have allowed us to upgrade our audio and video. And I am now finding the list of our high-ranking patrons. It's somewhere around here. I'm supposed to read this on the show, and I can't find it. You know who you are. Cheryl's definitely one. Freddie, you're one, too. Eric's parents. There's more of them. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll figure it out. Thank you to our incredible patrons. I've got a new microphone for the last couple of weeks. You can tell our video is messing up less, looking a little crisper. So thanks to our incredible patrons who have helped us get to this point. If you would like your thoughts read on the show, other than voting, of course, on how to kill me and Freddie and Meg with our Choose Your Own Adventures, you can, of course, submit any kind of feedback for us. legendslookback@youtini.com. You can send us a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. You can leave a comment on this episode on YouTube, or you can, of course, find us on Twitter at our main account at Legends Look Back, or You can find Freddie at,
Wake Up Freddy.
or Meg,
At MagDowell.
or me personally, I'm at Jared Q Mays, and I totally didn't delete Twitter from my phone. So you can definitely reach me there. Absolutely. It's going to be great. Of course, if you would like to give us some kind of feedback on how you think the show is going, you know what? Another thing you can do is you can leave us a review on iTunes or on your favorite podcatcher app. You can let us know how much you love Legends Look Back and how fun it is to kill us via Rancors or any other way. If you're looking to buy some of these books, such as this 5-book Choose Your Own Destiny Clone Wars Adventure series, you can go on over to Youtini.com, click on an Amazon link in the profile, and you can, of course, pick up your own copy of the books and throw us that 4% of the sale to help us keep Youtini afloat. Remember, everybody, you can also go on over there and leave us a review. Let us know what you think of these books. And also, of course, remember to keep the Youtini fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. Thanks, everybody. Tonight has been an absolute blast. May the force be with you.